Hi, everyone. Bill Newman here, voice of the County Royals, and I'm joined by part of the ownership group, Cole St. Pierre. So, Cole, I got a question for you right out of the gate, a two-parter. So, since joining the ownership group, what was your vision for the first year? And then when you stepped in, and then how has that vision kind of come to fruition by the end?
Nice. Yeah, I think my vision coming into this season was, the biggest component I wanted was to be competitive on the ice at all parts of the season. I know home games were the most important for us to put a good product on the home ice for our community members. And, at the end of the day, that's our biggest goal, right? Is to build a community team here. And my vision was encapsulating competitive and community balance in that way. And, when I reflect back on the season, sometimes being a player and an owner is not always easy because when you're in the room with the guys being a player, it sucks to lose those close games against all these really good hockey teams. But at the end of the day, we have to know that we're a year one team and we're building towards the Deserontos, the Tweeds, the Smith Falls. So it takes time to get there. So as an owner, it's really important to take those small wins that when you're playing those competitive games, you have lots to be happy about.
So, obviously, first year ownership, there's obstacles. So, is there one that you could maybe share with us? And then, what have you done to overcome that obstacle?
I'd say the biggest one is just being adverse to adaptability. Like, as you get going with the season starting, you're trying to fundraise money, you're trying to get the sponsors, you're trying to get the team together. I think reflecting back in August, we were probably sitting at 12 to 15 guys. So it was the biggest challenge for us was just trying to get that on ice competitive piece ready to go. And then also in the behind the scenes, you don't realize how much work goes into making all these great events. Yourself, you help us out tremendously, and so many other volunteers and community members that come out and support us with the gates, equipment managers, all this small details that comes together over the course of the season that I think is so important.
Now, you did touch on this, so you had all the successful, well, you call them successful senior A's. You got your Desos, got your Tweeds, you got your Smith Falls. So they have really strong identities. So what are you doing to kind of build that culture up here and adapt that into Prince Edward County?
Yeah, and I think this reflects a little bit back to question one there with my vision as well. And I think the biggest thing we wanted is we knew that maybe not tons of wins were going to come down the pipe in year one, but the biggest part was being hard to play against. And the culture that we want to build is hard to play against, fun to be around, and community oriented. I think in Prince Edward County as a whole here, I'm very fortunate to have lived here my whole life. And it's such a big-hearted community for a small community that I think that kind of imbalances the team together as well.
So that's excellent. That's fantastic. I like that. So this goes right into my next question for you is, so obviously the community support, community involvement, you have all this stuff. So what are you doing to stay involved in the community, and how important it is to keep that connection growing because it is year one?
Yes. In that sense, we had a lot of great meetings with community members over the summer and even into the winter. I think one of those key ones being with Charlene Inslee, the president of Prince Edward County Minor Hockey. I just believe the relationship between minor hockey and senior A hockey is so important. We see so many dads on the team here when they got their kids out here, and we had that Prince Edward County Minor Hockey Night. I think that was one of the biggest nights that we've had here in Wellington, and in terms of a fan base, that's what we want to build towards, is all these great minor hockey kids coming out to support us so that we can support them. I know down the road here when we can introduce new revenue streams, we really want to try and support that minor hockey roots. So we're really looking forward towards that.
Right. So you did talk about growing the brand and your team's presence and the whole thing. So what does that brand growth look like over the next year?
Yeah, I think with brand growth, I think comes a lot of relationship building, community building. Our biggest thing this year was just trying to be out in the community. I think a lot about growing your brand is storytelling, right? And when I was going out in the summertime, I'm talking about the County Royals and Senior A hockey. And Senior A hockey, I think, is coming back around. Like we talked about, it used to be so popular. It kind of went away for a little bit, and now we're back into this really popular segment of senior A hockey. So it was about storytelling, honestly, going out into the community and making sure that everyone knew about it, what we're all about, because it is a different brand of hockey. It's a lot of 22 plus age players continuing to play competitive hockey, and that's probably my favorite part about it, is creating an avenue and a home for players alike and local to play hockey still.
Yeah, so the players do talk. Yeah. Right. So like last year, we were in the other league, the OSHL. It was you guys, Madoc, Trent Hills. And as the culture changed behind the scenes, I think one of the biggest things I noticed when I got here was what was going on by the dressing room, right? Lots of laughter tonight. Yeah. Game one for playoffs tonight. Everybody's nervous, but there's a looseness back there, which is great. So what are you trying to put out to the players when they all talk to each other about what Prince Edward County can offer them?
Yeah, our biggest thing is just trying to make it the best experience possible. I know there's partnerships that we've established with key sponsors over the summertime, such as Metro. So organizations like that help us provide game day food, snacks, drinks, Gatorade, water, everything from making a great experience once you start to the rink. Serendipity Yoga does yoga with us. We do stretching before every game with her at home. It's a lot about selling the experience of playing a junior/senior A hockey style environment and taking it to the next level and making it really fun to be a part of. And this group here, we've had a lot of fun experiences with the polar plunge in the community. We've done the pumpkin fest together. We've done the golf tournament. We've I'm very fortunate that the charity game was amazing too. So there's so many great things, and that charity game I think was probably my favorite. At the end of the day, trying to figure out how the heck to get so much food out of the rink and to the food bank. We had over 800 pounds and $1,000+. So that was one of those big moments that I think that's what we can sell to be a part of. To answer your question,
That could have been almost off ice training, almost getting all that out of there.
That's
so.
right.
We're not saying the season's over. You're in pretty tough against Deseronto. Obviously, they're first in the division, and you're coming in fourth. But it's going to be a matchup you got to win on them this year. So as you prepare for the ending of this season and then into next season, any little sneak previews for next year? What can you tell the fans about?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to stay focused on the remaining part of the season. But as we go into next season, I think what I'm most excited about is just the consistency of what we have here. We've built a great group of players and core already, so I'm excited to have everyone together and keep playing, right? With these established organizations, they have these core guys that have played together for 3 to 5 years now. And I'm excited for us to finally be a part of that and get going with our core group. And then as well, behind the scenes, we have so many great members joining us, and it only gets bigger and bigger. So I'm excited about building the team and growing an even better brand.
Well, yeah, the atmosphere back and behind the scenes is great. So I know you got to get ready for game one. So with the voice of the County Royals, Bill Newman, this is Cole St. Pierre, part of the ownership group and defenseman, and we'll catch him tonight. Game one, Deseronto coming up next.
Go Royals. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone, to the Castle. Game one of the Highlands semifinal between the number one ranked Deseronto Bulldogs and your County Royals. Had a moment of silence there for everyone out in Tumbler Ridge as we're thinking about all of you out there. This is a very important matchup for the Royals. They are 3-1 against the Bulldogs this season. One of the only teams that were able to 1-3. I said that. Stat guy's bugging me right now already. But they're 3-1, or they're 1-3. So you got me doing it now. But the Royals are one of the only teams that snuck in a winner past these guys this year. As they're stepping in on the draw for this one, we're about to get underway. Packed house. Hello down to the Pounders Pub. Bulldogs now carry this one in, dump in on the far side. That was Hill. Bouncing puck controlled. Trying to get a handle on that. That's Tyson Moore chasing. They go back to the point. Hill again dumps it in. Long dump to the outside. Can't control. They're going to go around the outside. This is Yule battling his man. Now picked up and turned back around. As this is Matt Rosemary puts her on the half board. Basie now banks off the boards. Can't get this one out. In walks Hill. Long distance shot. Misses Dwyer to the side. Brady Dwyer getting the start for your County Royals. He's sporting a .893 save percentage, and the Bulldogs are going to counter with Corey Kuipers, .913 save percentage. Icing is the call on the outside. Face-off will take place on the left-hand side of Dyer. Face off, won by the Bulldogs. Long shot, tipped, knocked down by the Royals. Quick shot again off another body into the corner. Bulldogs still controlling the half board. Nice drop pass. They're going to walk in, look for the shot. Dyer knocks that one down, turned, fired, kept it at the line. Another shot missed wide as Matt Brosma goes back to pick this one up. He's going to dump this one out, and it's picked off by the Bulldogs at the line. They're going to dump that one in. Royals are going to get their change in. They've mixed up the lines. As this is John Salmons carrying it. He's got Josh Cameron with a long shot. Kuipers hangs onto that one at 18:47. John Salmons going off for the change. Hurd, Cameron, and Rossi out there. Steve Neary and Kenny Murdoch on the point. Bulldogs win the draw, try to get this one out. They can't. Hurd now skates into his man. He's knocked to the ice. They weighed that onside. Both skates were on the offside position, but the linesman let it go. Referees for tonight's game, Ben Buxton and Chris McEwen. Bulldogs carry this one on the outside, trying to get inside. First shot, nice save by Dyer. He kicked that off to the side, and the Royals tried to clear it, and they finally do, but controlled by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs going to slow this one down. Long dump in. Bouncing puck knocked down by Kenny Murdoch, one of the Royals all-stars from this year. He's going to move this up. One-touch pass. Cameron and Hurd change. Out comes Arnold with Tosick and Forrestal. Tosick dumped his man on the far side. They battled in the corner. Kenny Murdoch's going to pick this one up, carry it out. Tried to find Forrestal, couldn't find him. Bulldogs control. They're going to dump this wide into the half board, knocked away by Kenny Murdoch. Hurd tried to get that one up. Arnold tried to get that one up to Forrestal, couldn't. Now over to Tosick, up to Arnold. Arnold's going to cut to the outside. Speedy forward shot, way wide left. Tosick couldn't slow that one down. As Cole St. Pierre missed his first pass across to Wilkinson. He lets that go to Tosick. Tosick off the boards, bouncing puck. Arnold's going to pick this one up. Oh, he almost squeaked that one through. Couldn't get all the way through. Knocked out the barn by Burtonshaw. Now they battle on the half board. Tosick's going to control this one. He's looking for the outlet pass. Quick shot. Kuipers hangs onto that one at 17:04. John Salmons, Moore, and Van Vleck come out on the forward line. Wilkinson and St. Pierre stay on the point. Face off. Right-hand side of Kuipers. Face-off won by the Royals, but controlled by the Bulldogs, high up into the mesh. 4 seconds only off the clock. Full house here tonight as we got the battle of Highway 49, the Crown versus the Pound. Game 1, highly anticipated. Only about 25 minutes separate these two towns. Lots of Bulldogs fans in the arena tonight. Game 2 takes place on Monday at 2 o'clock in Deseronto, Family Day. A plethora of events planned there. Check out the Bulldogs on Facebook for a listing of all the events. Defense are going to change here. Matt Brosma and Mitch Moffat now come out again. Mitch Moffat played forward all year. Then he dropped back to the point for this playoff series. Lost a couple of defensemen as they didn't get enough games in on the season. Jordy Freeland was one. I don't think Mitch Moffat really was out of place on the defense as he took a bump from Jason Shaw there in the long dump in from the point. Kuipers is going to hang on to this one at 16:40. Again, thank you for joining us here on Royals Hockey. Hello to all the Bulldogs fans in Deseronto, just over the Skyway Bridge. Referee's going to fix the net there. Referee Buxton found something wrong.
This broadcast of the County Royals Hockey brought to you by Local 401, one of the most respected and influential building trade locals in Ontario.
The Task Force Lounge packed down here at the Castle. Pounders Pub has a crowd tonight as well. And I do believe there's a watch party at the Riverside Restaurant in Deseronto. Van Vlack steps in for the draw for your Royals. Face-off won by the Bulldogs and controlled. Bulldogs going to work this one out, trying to find a sidestep off a foot, knocked down by Brosma. He tried to clear. Bulldogs have to tag up. Offside is the call, as Alex Stone couldn't get that onside. Shots are 3-3, we think. The bar's in the way. As Witosic steps in on the draw. Face-off pushed through by Witosic, but controlled by the Bulldogs. They're going to carry this one out there. Zach Brooks out there, along with Witosic and Forrestal on the far side. They're really, that's Nick Kirby. They're really mixing up the lines tonight. Alex Basie, former Federal Hockey League player, and Kenny Murdoff come out on the point now. 16-19. Face off to the left-hand side of Brady Dyer, former Topeka Scarecrow and Northumberland Stars. Congratulations to the Northumberland Stars for a regular season victory again in the GMHL this year. Alex McConnell really doing a good job with the squad there. Shot scores! As that was just a little trickler there from Mitch Gustafson, and he slid that one in. And the Bulldogs grab an early lead, 1-0. You'll see him walk in here, just walks inside. There's the fire, just fooled Dyer. And 1-0 for the Bulldogs. Long dump in by the Bulldogs. Dyer touches that one to the side. They cleared out front. Nobody there. Out come the Royals on the far side. Long dump in by Hurd into the corner. Speedy recovery in there by DeRossi. Ryan DeRossi. They try to work that one out. Long pass out by the Bulldogs. Dumped in. Kenny Murdoff's going to pick this up. He'll grab a head of steam if he can. He has no way out. He is going to bank it off the glass. Icing is the call. At 15-14.
This broadcast of the County Royals Hockey brought to you by Abode Home Store, a collection of high-end furniture, lighting, and decor located in the county.
Face off, won by the Bulldogs. Long shot. Dyer didn't quite see that one to the left-hand side. Hurd couldn't clear that off the half board. Bouncing puck still controlled by the Bulldogs. Long shot, missed wide. Kept in at the line by the Bulldogs. Fanned on the shot. Banked off the board by Josh Cameron. But controlled by the Bulldogs. Royals get their change in with Tosic. Arnold now come out. Last change is happening now. Out comes Forrestal. This top line finally back together for the Royals as Arnold pushes to the outside. The speedy forward on the outside drops for Witosic. Witosic tried to get a shot off. Bouncing puck. Couldn't control that one as Kuipers can't find that one. Still open puck. As it was right there and they just couldn't seem to find it. That was a great opportunity for the Royals early there. There's a nice little rush there. You'll see them carry this one in on the outside. This is Arnold. He's going to just drop it off for Witosic. There's the shot, the stick on the, and just a bouncing puck, and Kuipers couldn't hang on to that one. As the Royals couldn't capitalize. Still 1-0 for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs control. They're going to carry this one out. 14-20 remaining of the first period. They're on the outside. Bulldogs trying to find their way in off a foot out to the shooting lane. They got to back up and retreat. This is Ewell on the outside. He tried to drop back, picked off. Now here comes Forrestal. As Arnold had to go offside, Witosic also offside. As at the last minute, everybody changed directions and they couldn't finish that change. Royals get their change in. Mitch Moffat jumped up into that rush. He's gone back to defense now. John Samus on the ice out there with Van Vlack. Forrestal still on the ice as Mitch Moffat throws a big hit by the blue line. Samus went to get ahead of steam. He's going to hit the brakes. Oh, picked off. Back they come the opposite way. Fooled Dyer, but it went the opposite way. It was able to get cleared away by the defense. Everybody backing up now for the Royals. Bulldogs find a shot in lane. They're going to walk in. Bouncing puck still open as Dyer got across and kicked that to the side. Samus now trying to find his way out on the half board. Bulldogs, 2 guys on the puck. They're going to come out with this one as well. Back to the shooting lane again. Nice block. High by Forrestal. He felt all of that one. Long shot again off a body. That was Wilkinson. Dyer off the post and into the corner. Samus hits his man. Royals on their heels right now, trying to get this puck out. Nice move at the line by Friend. Now finally picked off by the Royals. They're trying to get this one out. They do. Forrestal dumps this in, gets a change. Out comes Hurd, Ryan DeRossi, Basie, and Matt Brosma on the point. Van Vlack comes off to finish the change, and Cameron comes on for him. Miscue by the Bulldogs. Josh Cameron, the forward forechecker on this one. Bulldogs just taking a little breather here. 12:20 remaining. Bodies are still coming into the arena. Nice full house tonight. Bulldogs work this one into the corner. Basie bumps his man off. Now Hurd back. Right through the paint. Nobody touched that one all the way back. Long pass, tipped in wide by Gustafson into behind the net. Brosma goes back, tried to clear this one. Picked off by Cannons at the corner. On the half board, quick shot, knocked outside off the stick of Josh Cameron. 2 Royals in the corner on Lemars. Kept in at the line, dumped in by Cones. Through the crease. Now it got out. Now it's a foot race here. High stick. Penalty coming up. That's going to be for high sticking. As the Royals are going to get their first power play. Ethan Cohen's going in for high sticking at 11:33 as the top line comes out for your Royals. Arnold, Forrestal, Witosic, Ketty Murdoff, and Alex Basie on the point. Arnold steps in on the draw. They opt for the right-handed face-off. Face-off won by the Royals. They go back to Ketty Murdoff. Down low to Forrestal. He missed the assignment. Arnold's going to go all the way back. Kept it at the line by Kenny Murdoff. Forrestal now on the half board, tried to go outside. Witosic had to step in. High stick is the call as Witosic knocked that one down. And the puck goes all the way back down as the back official called that one. 1:44 remaining in the penalty, 11:18 in the period. Again, the Task Force Lounge pack, lots of signs in the window. Stats guys loving it. Shots are 6-5. They're going to talk about this high stick now. Oh, it goes all the way down this league. Face off won by the Royals. Kenny Murdoff now goes back. He's going to slow this one down. 1:40 remaining in the penalty. Long pass across to Arnold. They're going to let Arnold carry this one in. The speedy forward. Drop pass. Kenny Murdoff with a hammer. Kicked away by Kuipers. Bouncing puck. Everybody's swinging at it. Basie knocks it down. He'll shoot as well as Corey Kuipers hangs onto that one. Still trying to work this one on the inside. Top line stays out for the Royals. Arnold steps in on the draw. He's going to go up against Jeff Morrison. Jeff Morris. Face off won by the Royals. Basie going across to Murdoff. He's going to take a breath. He's going to step into the shooting lane. Long dump in off a body kicked aside by Kuipers. In behind the net to Witosic. Back to Forrestal. Forrestal now over to Murdoff. Murdoff over to Basie. Basie looking down to Witosic. Bouncing puck that's loose. Witosic couldn't get a stick on that one. Bulldogs are going to grab this one and clear it down with 50 seconds remaining in the penalty as the Bulldogs get their change in as well as the Royals. John Samish, Josh Cameron, and Malcolm Hurd come out on the forward line. Mitch Moffat and Cole St. Pierre on the defense. Cole St. Pierre was the last change. He's going to pick up that clearing attempt by the Bulldogs as Moffat moves it back over to St. Pierre. Off a stick again, bouncing puck. St. Pierre's trying to slow this one down to John Samus. Long pass to Malcolm Hurd. Toe drag, quick shot off the glove, knocked away by Kuipers. Slightly behind it, but he was able to hang on to it, get rid of it. Bouncing puck at the line, cleared in hard by St. Pierre. Mitch Moffat's going to step in off the line. As the penalty's winding down, we can hear Dyer tapping his stick. 2 seconds remaining. 9:35. Last chance for the Royals here for a quick shot. Tyson Moore, Brooks, and Kirby now come out on the forward line. Royals are going to be watching for that breakout pass. Coens is going to be coming out in 2 seconds. Must-win face-off here for Tyson Moore. He wins the draw, but wins it way too clean. Out come the Bulldogs. They go wide, one-on-one. They get their final change in as Dyer's going to grab that one and hang on to it. Yeah, it was a quick change there, and they brought it right off the face-off, brought it right down. And there's the shot right there as Dyer just reaches out and grabs that and hangs on to it. 1-0 still for the Deseronto Bulldogs. 9:27 remaining in the first period. Cameron steps into the draw. He gets tossed. DeRossi steps in. He wins the draw, wins clean back to Wilkinson. Nice save by Dyer as he blockered that one into the corner. As they brought that one right out into the shooting lane. Malcolm Hurd tried to flick that one past the defenseman, couldn't get all the way around. Bulldogs still control, 9 minutes remaining. Wilkinson tried to find a way out. He did get this one out. Bulldogs are going to control and slow this one down. They're going to work around the outside. This is Hill. Hill moves it up to Shaw. Shaw off to the far side to Hudgen. Now they work it down low. This is Hudgen behind the net, tried to work it outside, shooting lane, bouncing puck. He goes right over top of Dyer. No whistle. Dyer's flat in his back. Now the whistle goes. Not quite sure what happened there. Don't think the replay caught it. Or we fired off the replay way too late. Yeah, there's the contact right at the start. Right there. And play just continued on as Dyer is still down on the ice. Right there. There's the contact. As the trainer comes out for this, we're going to go to a commercial break and we'll be right back.
This broadcast of the County Royals hockey brought to you by Anderson Equipment Sales, an agricultural dealership with locations in Belleville and Picton. This broadcast of the County Royals hockey brought to you by Angry Birds Rotisserie Chicken Restaurant, a relaxed, fun atmosphere, delicious and affordable meal in Picton.
The Royal Lager. Smooth, easy drinking, and made for post-game laughs. The kind of beer that brings teammates, friends, and family together after a hard-fought game. Brewed in partnership with Prince Eddie's Brewery Company.
This broadcast of the County Royals hockey brought to you by Rock Solid Excavation Inc., built on the commitment to excellence. This broadcast of the County Royals hockey brought to you by Pounders Pub, laid back fun and welcoming. Visit one of the latest restaurants in Wellington. This broadcast of the County Royals hockey brought to you by Hilltop Auto Care. a reputable automotive service center offering a range of maintenance and repair services for various vehicles.
We're back as Brady Dyer trying to get himself pulled back together there after getting collided. Again, we'll go back, take a look at that right out of the gate. You see him just get run right over right here, right at the start. He got driven back on his head, no call on the play. Just trying to get his helmet back on there. Yeah, we went to the full screen commercial there, folks. We don't need to see anybody get hurt laying on the ice, just in case something happens. Dyer getting his helmet back on. Shots are 10-7 for the Royals. Face off the left-hand side. Face off won by the Royals, but controlled by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs now work around the outside. They're going to walk in. Quick shot. Dyer knocks that off to the side and scores. No, Dyer's done. He just shook his head. We'll go back and take a look at that one. But as soon as that goal went in, we saw the head shake from Dyer. You see it kept in right here at the line. Just a quick shot right there. There goes the puck in. Dyer shakes his head. And like we said, goaltender change at the far end. Christian Christelton now comes in. As Brady Dyer now left the game with an injury. Long shot. Christelton hangs on to that one to the corner, knocks away his first shot of the game. Face-off will take place the right-hand side as Cameron Hurd and DeRossi now come out on this draw. 2-0 for the Bulldogs. Game 1, semifinal Highlands Division. As Christelton now just adjusts his equipment. Yeah, Dyer has gone to the room. As Basie controls him behind the net, he's going to slow this one down. Shots 10-10, 8 minutes remaining of the first period. This is Moffat, long distance shot off the stick of Cameron. Cameron couldn't control, cleared back in. Christelton now is going to shoot this one around. Hurd's now going to get the puck on the half board. Flicks that one out, nobody there. Bulldogs now retain the puck and back up. Bulldogs now going to control, go down through the neutral zone. This is Lemaire. He's going to carry this straight through. Offside's the call. As everybody's trying to figure who was offside, Gustafson says it wasn't me, but he was offside by at least a step on that one. Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Royals Hockey. First in the Task Force Lounge and, of course, down at Pounders Pub. Van Vlak's going to step in on the draw. Van Vlak gets the boot out. Tyson Moore's now going to step in on the draw. Face-off won by the Bulldogs. They're going to back this one up. This is Arbor. Long dump in out of play. Face-off will come back to the center dot. Royals were very excited with the lineup they had tonight, but kind of fly in the ointment now is Brady Dyer now out of the game. Bulldogs going to carry this one in. Long shot. Christelton kicks that off to the left-hand side. They're going to work this back to the point. Bulldogs long shot off a glove off to the side. Christelton had a read on that one. Bulldogs now, this is Cannon's light pass across the ice. Floater couldn't hang on to that one. Was Gustafson. Quick shot again. Cannons hangs, threw his head up in frustration as Christelton grabs that one. Lineup change here by the Royals as Arnold, Witosic, and Forstall come out. Brosma and Kenny Murdoff on the point. Arnold steps in on the draw. Bulldogs win the draw. They go back to the point. Long distance shot kicked off the side. That was Ardberg. As they work around the outside, Witosic now trying to find the outlet pass. He goes all the way across to Forstall. Forstall's going to gain the line back to Murdoff. Murdoff jumped up into that line. Bouncing puck. Free puck. As Arnold tried to go right through the front of the net. Nobody there, though. Flicked out puck, knocked down. Matt Brosma's going to control this one. He's going to carry this one up. Decides to turn away at 6:35. Now they put it into the inside. Brosma now is going to gain the line. He's going to dump this one in. Kuipers is going to grab it and opts to play it. Bulldogs have a guy in behind. Nice breakout pass. Murdoch read that one, though. Pushes his man to the back. Shots 14-12 for Deseronto. 6:10 remaining of the first period. Offsides the call on the far side. As Hill just got a little jumpy there, waiting for the zone to clear. And the face-off comes outside in front of the Royals bench. Cameron steps in on the draw for this face-off, won by the Bulldogs. Long shot in around the outside. Battle, knockdown, bouncing puck, shot wide. Bulldogs controlling the half board. They're going to work this around the outside. There's the quick shot in the side as Crystalton came 15 feet out of his net, tried to knock the angle off on that one. It went wide. Bulldogs now still work around the outside, trying to find their way in. Trying to open up that shooting lane. They go back to the point. This is Hill, long shot. Crystalton hangs on to that one. Malcolm Hurd's going to carry this one out, flick it off the boards. Off a foot of Kirby. Bouncing puck, misplay. In comes the Bulldogs. Nice spin move, though, knocked down by Hurd. They work around the outside. This is Alex Tung now. He's going to let this one go back to the point. Backhanded in at the line by Ewell. Royals still can't get this one all the way out. Is off a leg now. Kirby run into at the line. Complains the referee about interference call. No call. Bulldogs working this round to the shooting lane. Quick shot. Crystal knocks that one away. Now they dump this one out off a body. Royals trying to do that long stretch breakout pass. It's just not working. Offsides the call again as they're just taking in. That was Radalski. Chris Radalski, son of Roger Radalski. Infamous referee in the area. A lot of respect for him over the years. Skated a lot of games with him. So, Roger, if you're watching, hello. You're probably here in the building somewhere. Face off, won by Van Vlak, but controlled by Deseronto. Bouncing puck, this is Punchard. He goes on the far side. Good to see Punchy on the ice today. Moves it up. Punchard tried to deflect that one in, move to the outside. This is Harrison. Chases his four-man in. Now he battles Mitch Moffat, wins the battle to the outside. Shot wide. They still control. This is the Bulldogs. Tries to work into the shooting lane there. Can't find it. That was Jeff Morris. Morris now, there it is there. Crystalton steps up, shuts the door there. Bouncing puck. Now John Samus going to carry this out, the former Madoc Wildcat. He's going to force everybody to the outside as the Royals get their change in with Tosick and Arnold on the ice. Samus now goes off. Forrestal comes on, and Cannons is going to dump this one on the far side. So that was Birkinshaw shot that one in as Crystalton hangs on to that one. 3:39, 2-0 for the Bulldogs. You're watching Royals hockey here on YouTube. Gustafson now steps in against Arnold. Right-hand side from Crystalton. Face-off won by the Bulldogs. Little give and go. Quick shot. Crystalton flashes the leather and hangs on to that one. At 3:34 remaining of the first. Witosic now tries his hand at the face-off. Face-off won by the Bulldogs again. As a weak shot makes it all the way through, and Crystalton's going to grab that one. Shots 21-12. Looking across the ice, see Joe Chinook here. Son-in-law plays for the Bulldogs. Can't remember which player he is. Shot into the corner. Bouncing puck makes its way out. Delayed icing will be the call. 3:19 remaining. Gustafson's going to step in on the draw. Arnold's going to step back in on the draw as well. Royals really have to clean up on the face-off here. Another face-off, won by the Bulldogs. Crystalden kicks that to the side. Witosic, wild swipe, gets it out, though. Forrestal couldn't handle the bouncing puck. Worked back in. Kenny Murdoff now picks this one off. Tries to find the outlet pass. Arnold's going to backhand this one in. Kuipers is going to play this in behind the net. Into the referee's feet. Royals get it back briefly. Now St. Pierre's going to hammer this one in around the net. Makes it around to the far side on the half board. Witosic couldn't handle that one. Give and go by the Bulldogs. Arnold's back. Nice hit. As Arnold ran Gustafson right out of room. And he's going straight to the penalty, or to his dressing room. He stopped halfway down the hallway as he took a hard hit there. Bulldogs worked on the outside, little give and go, broken up by St. Pierre. They work it back to the point, long shot. Oh, tipped. And what a save by Crystalden. As that was tipped. And he held on to that one. That was quite the save by Crystalden. As it was tipped, it just went wide and long distance shot. Had a chance to talk to Christian before the game. He was pretty focused on today's game. He was coming in the backup role, but he kind of had a gleam in his eye. We saw that last year in playoffs. Long distance shot as Kuipers knocks that one down. We'll go back and take a look at that save by Crystalden. Like right here, you see the shot. There's the tip. And Crystalden just grabs the puck there at the last second, knocks that one down, keeps it 2-0. Face-off won by the Bulldogs and controlled him behind the net. This is Hill, goes around the far side. He lets that one go. Mitch Moffat tried to release that quick, couldn't. Bouncing puck, two Bulldogs run into each other. DeRossi is going to be the forechecker on this. 1:50 remaining, long distance shot off a foot of Mitch Moffat. Bouncing puck, they work this up though. Now on the outside. Bulldogs carry this one in. This is Hudgen. Tries to find his way in as the Bulldogs change. Long shot, misses wide. Malcolm Hurd couldn't catch that one out of his reach. Bulldogs controls. They back up. This is Shaw. Shaw moves it up to Ewell. Ewell's going to carry this on the far side. Takes a hack from Van Vlack. Into the shooting lane there. Crystal knocked that one away as Mitch Moffat now. Penalty coming up. That's going to go against Mitch Moffat on the far side. The back official. Interference. Kind of a late hit. Mitch Moffat was getting frustrated in behind the play and threw a big hit. That'll be Mitch Moffat for interference. 1:14 remaining. Mitch Moffat pleading his case with the back official, McEwen. As the Bulldogs get their first power play opportunity. Hudgen steps in on the draw for this one. Witosic steps in. He's out there with Arnold. On the forward line. They're going to square this one up. Fanned on the shot. Rosemont couldn't get a handle on that one. 1 minute remaining in the first period. Witosic now is going to dump this one out. If Arnold gets a step, he does. He's got a player with him. Tried to go behind his back. Broken up by the Bulldogs. Going to turn back the opposite way. Hill's going to drop this one off. Carried in over the line. Alex Tung now works around the outside. He goes back to Hill. Hill works on the far side. Give and go back to Hill. Now down low, trying to find their way in. Bouncing puck. They work around the outside. 25 seconds remaining. Give and go. Long shot. Misses wide. Bouncing puck. Brosma hammers his man to the boards. He's going to clear this one down. Everyone's going to change here with 13 seconds. Cameron and Nick Kirby come out. Kenny Murdoff stays on. Alex Basie comes out. One last chance here for the Bulldogs. They're going to fan on this one. Broken up by Cameron. He gets this one out. And at the end of the first period, shots 24-13 for the Bulldogs. 2-0 for the Bulldogs. You're watching Game 1 Highlands Division here on Royals Hockey And we will catch you on the other side of the intermission show. Forward line, John Samus in the back with Peever. This is Peever. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Watasic from Brandon Peever. This is Peever. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Watasic from Brandon Peever. You can see there, puck in, shot around the outside now. Hawks are going to control this one. Picked off. Now it's a foot race. It's going to be good. In walks. Nice shot. Oh, nice read by Horn. That was Nick Kirby that picked that one off and walked all the way in. As they try to get inside bats, they have to back up, though. They couldn't keep it in. Tyson Moore jumps off for a change. Malcolm Hurd comes out. Here's a breakaway by Watasic. Scores! Calvin Watasic. And he makes it. Find his man. He's teamed up. He can't get this one. He's bumped hard. In come the Hawks 2-on-1. They try to go across ice. They can't. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Quick shot by Nesbitt. Nice save by Chrislin right at the end of the period as he knocks this one. The Tweed Oil Kings in town. Should be a full house on that one. Controlled in by the Royals. Long shot. LeBron scores! What a funny little bounce. Welcome, everyone, to the very first broadcast of the brand new team in the NPHL, the County Royals. Starting goal tonight, Christian Christelton. He is a former Madoc Wildcat that has now joined this team, and of course he will be battled into the side by Northgrave. Calvin tries to get up front, he can't. Now controls again on his backhand. Shin scores! Well, that's a familiar sight for the Smithville Ritos as Calvin Watasic makes it 6-2. Knocked away by Van Vleck. Here comes Purchase now through the neutral zone. He puts it on the far side. He's going to streak towards the net. Off the foot So they try to keep this one in. They do. Royals now trying to shoot this one. Tip! Sheldon Burgess with a quick shot. Breakaway now. As Chrislin with a great save on that one. As we enter the final 5 or 6 seconds of this period, and that will sum it up. Opening night, the County Royals are down by the Smith Falls Ritos 10-3. Thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. We look forward to seeing you at our next broadcast on October 18th against the Durham Hawks. For the County Royals, my name is Bill Newman, and thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Forward line, John Samus in the back with Peever. This is Peever. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Watasic from Brandon Peever. This is Peever. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Watasic from Brandon Peever. You can see there, puck in, shot around the outside now. Hawks are going to control this one. Picked off. Now it's a foot race. It's going to be good. In walks. Nice shot. Oh, nice read by Horn. That was Nick Kirby that picked that one off and walked all the way in. As they try to get inside bats. They have to back up, though. They couldn't keep it in. Tyson Moore jumps off for a change. Malcolm Hurd comes out. Here's a breakaway by Watasic. Scores! Calvin Watasic. And he makes it. Find his man. He's teamed up. He can't get this one. He's bumped hard. In come the Hawks 2-on-1. They try to go across ice. They can't. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Quick shot by Nesbitt. Nice save by Chrislin right at the end of the period as he knocks this one. The Tweed Oil Kings in town. Should be a full house on that one. Controlled in by the Royals. Long shot. LeBron scores! What a funny little bounce. Welcome, everyone, to the very first broadcast of the brand new team in the NPHL, the County Royals. Starting goal tonight, Christian Christelton. He is a former Madoc Wildcat that has now joined this team, and of course he will be battled into the side by Northgrave. Calvin tries to get up front, he can't. Now controls again on his backhand, Shin scores! Well, that's a familiar sight for the Smith Fall Ritos as Calvin Watasic makes it 6-2. Knocked away by Van Vleck. Here comes Purchase now through the neutral zone. He puts it on the far side. He's going to streak towards the net. Off the foot. They try to keep this one in. They do. Royals now trying to shoot this one. Tip! Sheldon Purchase with a quick shot. Breakaway now. That's Chrislin with a great save on that one. As we enter the final 5 or 6 seconds of this period, and that will sum it up. Opening night, the County Royals are down by the Smith Falls Ritos 10-3. Thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. We look forward to seeing you at our next broadcast on October 18th against the Durham Hawks. For the County Royals, my name is Bill Newman, and thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time. And we're back. Sorry, folks. Small technical difficulty there. Bulldogs win this one. They were going to work on the outside. Still the power play. Mitch Moffat for interference. Bulldogs work around the outside. Still trying to find their way in. Bouncing puck. Now they're trying to control. Bouncing puck went to the outside. Nice save by Christelton as he kicked that off. He got across quick. As we're coming up on 14 seconds, puck was cleared. Kuipers comes out to play this puck. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty. They're going to work around the outside. Long distance pass. Knocked down. Bulldogs bring this one in. Broken up by Steve Neary. Kenny Murdoff couldn't clear this one now. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. They're going to work around the outside. Hard hit behind the net. Steve Neary had his jersey grabbed. No call by the official as they're trying to work this one in. Whistle. Penalty coming up. It'll be a slashing call. Just heard that Dyer's done for the evening. They're trying to find an emergency e-bug goalie here. Royals go to the power play. Slashing was the call outside. St. Pierre couldn't keep that one in. Alex Basie has to get back to grab this one. They work around the outside. Bulldogs shorthanded. They're going to back this one up all the way. Trying to kill off the clock. Long distance pass up to Shaw. Shaw's going to hit the brakes, work to the outside. Now work outside to Jeff Morris. Morris now tries to work it back. One touch Shaw. Goes back to the point. Right back to Shaw. He's going to carry this in 2-on-2. St. Pierre works him to the outside, forces him into the corner. St. Pierre bumps off Shaw. They get the puck back. Out come the Royals. 3-on-2 on the outside. Kenny Merton. No, that's Mitch Moffat on the outside. Across it with Tosick. Bouncing puck just went wide. As Tosick now goes back to the point. Here's Alex Basie. Works on the far side down to St. Pierre. St. Pierre couldn't get any height on that. Off a foot into the corner. Controlled by Watoxic behind the net. Tried to do a wraparound. That won't go. Not on Kuipers. Off a foot. Still bouncing puck. There it is! Calvin Watoxic. And it's 2-1. Power play goal. Watoxic just stayed with it the whole time. You'll see him off his foot, goes straight back. He's going to kick it right there, and there catches the top corner. And it's 2-1 for the Bulldogs. Face off one, controlled by the Royals, starting to back this one up. One tip pass into the corner. That's John Samus. Kuiper's going to shoot that around the outside. Samus now goes low, bouncing puck, tried to find Van Vlack. Bulldogs going to drop this one off, broken up. Remember a couple of weeks ago, Royals had a terrible start in the first period, and head coach Greg Vanier in between the breaks just unloaded on the guys, and 3 straight goals back by the Royals. Maybe this is a little mirrored incident here as bouncing puck. Christleton keeps that to the side as looks like the Royals have woken up here. Here comes Tyson Moore on the far side. He's got Samus with him. Bouncing puck now. Arnold almost got that one through. He tries to work it on the outside. Bouncing puck. Now it's going back. Broken up by Matt Brosma. Bouncing puck to stay on side. They're going to bring that in. Christleton kicks that off to the left-hand side. Worked on the outside. Bouncing puck. Wilkinson couldn't get this one out. Now St. Pierre. St. Pierre works this around. Forstall couldn't find the handle on that one. Bouncing puck gets out. This is Ethan Cohen's now. Long distance pass. Icing is the call. We'll try and get in and get that chat we had with head coach Greg Vanier. Had a hard time getting it off the camera. Worked on the outside, bouncing puck with Tosick now on the far side. Bulldogs going to carry this one out through the neutral zone. They're onside. St. Pierre forces his man out. Still bouncing puck. High stick and a holding call coming up. This should be back and forth, though. Looks like maybe just one call. Buxton's going to call a high stick against St. Pierre. Bulldogs going back to the power play. That was the original call. Then there was the retaliation, no call. Small discussion here. High stick in the call to Cole St. Pierre. Face off, center ice. Try to work this one in. Bulldogs now work on the outside. Nice play, broken up by the Royals. Bulldogs continue to work around the outside. Long distance shot. Christleton tried to hang on to that one. Couldn't. Bouncing puck. Van Vlack faked a slap at that one. Let it go out. Bulldogs now are going to back up around the outside. Trying to find their way in. Bumped off by Nick Kirby. Back to the point now. They work around the outside trying to find their way in. 1:15 remaining in the penalty. High sticking to Cole St. Pierre. Chrisland's going to knock that one down, hang on to it. Bouncing puck comes free. Bulldogs still control. They square this up. Nick Kirby, Van Vlack, Basie, and Wilkinson on the point. So that's Matt Brosma on the far side. Bulldogs now trying to find their way in. Bouncing puck still loose. Still can't control. Chrisland had that read all the way. 45 seconds as cross-checking call now coming up. Now 5-on-3.
Backstage here with head coach Greg Vanier. Tell me, Greg, it's 2-0 right now for the Bulldogs. What are you going to be looking for the guys for the second period?
We need a little more intensity out there, Bill. Like we know what we're up against. This is a good hockey club. I mean, they're in first place for a reason, but we have the utmost respect for them. It's just we need to bring our game up to the level we need. Right
Any
now.
update on Brady Dyer right now?
Nothing as of yet. I mean, he doesn't look like he's going to be returning to the game, but I'm waiting for an update myself. So,
All right, second period coming up. 2-0 Bulldogs. We'll catch you on the other side of the next period.
that's it.
So that was Coach Greg Vanier in between the break there of what they had to bring to the second period, and they're in the penalty trouble right now. 16 seconds of the 5-on-3. As Chrisland got a handle on that one, knocked it off. 14:06 remaining. 12 seconds of St. Pierre. 1:30 to Nick Kirby. They're going to put Arnold out there on the forward line. Steve Neary and Kenny Murdoff out there. Neary not scared to get in front of those pucks. Bulldogs work around the outside. Quick shot misses wide. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. There's an interference call. Finally, they're going to call that one. Now we're going to 4-on-4 hockey. Well, sure, it's 4-on-3 for 1 second. Then we go to 4-on-4 for 1:18. Then we'll go to the small power play for the Royals. For what? I was going to try and do math there, but for 42 seconds. Look at me, I can do math. So in 1 second, we're going back to 4-on-4 hockey. This will be Cole St. Pierre coming out of the box. Face off won by the Bulldogs. 4-on-4 hockey. With toss, it's going to jump out. Offside's the call. I would assume here the Royals are going to reset on this line to go 4-on-4. Arnold with Tossick up front. Murdoff and Steve Neary. Face off. One, but turned over. Here comes the Royals. This is with Tossick beating his man to the corner. He's going to work it on the outside. Quick shot. He'll always throw everything at the net. That's one thing about Calvin with Tossick. Just dumps everything on the net. That's the Royals captain. Nice chip through by Witosic. Tries to work on the outside. Try for the backhand shot. Hit the side of the net. Neary's going to step up, spin away from his man. Works it back to Kenny Murdoff. Murdoff now around the net. Goes to Witosic. Battle in behind the net. As that's Hodgkin and Witosic battling. Witosic still has the puck. He knocks off Cannons. Now they go behind the net. Cannons is going to slow this one down. 4-on-4 hockey for 24 seconds. Josh Cameron out on the forward line. Matt Brosma, Kenny Murdoff still out there. Nice turnover. Here come the Royals. Shoot into the corner. Bouncing puck. Out to Josh Cameron. Quick shot. That one in. Oh my. As we're going to have to look at that one as that one in fast. What a release from Josh Cameron. As we'll see the bouncing puck right here. They work it around the outside. That's a 4-on-4 goal too, by the way. You'll see Cameron come right back into the shooting lane. There it is. He's going to walk in and put it right over top of the blocker. And 2-2. As we're back, still on 4-on-4 hockey. Now the Royals go to a power play. They're coming in wide, bouncing puck. They're going to work on the outside. Brosma over to Josh Cameron. Bouncing puck kept at the line. Long shot. Wilkinson went wide. Nobody there. As Hurd keeps it in at the line and circling around. Josh Cameron gets his change in with Tossick comes out for him. Missed assignment, cleared puck. 15 seconds remaining in the penalty. Piper's banging a stick as the penalty comes to an end. Quick release. Fan shot. Malcolm Hurd turns, fires, bouncing puck in behind the net. Back to 5-on-5 hockey, breakout shot, and it's going to be icing as the call at 11:47. Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Royals Hockey 2-2 at 11:47 in the second period. Shots 23-17. Packed house here. Task Force Lounge full as well as Pounders Pub. Thank you so much for joining us here on Royals Hockey. Bulldogs try to control, missed assignment, goes all the way back. Crystalton now knocks it off to the side. Basie has the puck. He's going to reset this. He's going to carry it up through. Off the side net, knocked down by Witosic, right back to Arnold. Arnold skated into his man. Quick shot. Crystalton hangs on to that one as Basie puts a stick on Hudgens as he knocks the player away from the goalie. As Bulldogs have been known to be slightly aggressive on the net, and we saw that tonight as Brady Dyer out of the game. Fresh set of legs on for the Royals as Van Black is going to step out there with Tyson Moore. And John Samus, long shot, misses wide in behind the net. Chris had a hard time finding that one. Now he shuts the door as it goes back to the point. This is Birkinshaw now, long distance shot into the corner, can't find him. Tried to work around the outside, still can't control. Bouncing puck, blocked in, kept in at the line. Steve Neary tried to get that one out. He couldn't. Stick tangled up in the player there. Neary's going to come away with this one. 10:55 remaining in the second period. John Samuels couldn't get that out. Took a hard hit against the boards. Quick shot. Crystal knocks that one down. Cleared. Kept it at the line. Here come the Bulldogs. Nice tip. Nice save by Crystalton. Bulldogs still trying to get this one out. Or sorry, the Royals trying to get this one as they hit the score sign. Face-off will stay inside. 10:34 remaining in the second period. Game 2 of this series will take place Monday, 2 o'clock at the Pound in Deseronto. Witosic, Gerasi, and Kirby now out there, long shot. Crystal knocks that down, is going to hang on to it. As Wilkinson and Moffat work the forwards over in front of the net, they're going to keep this one still 2-2. Josh Cameron and Calvin Witosic, the goal scorers for the Royals. Mitch Moffat stepped up through the draw, got it out. In comes DeRossi. He's got Mitch Moffat with him. Long distance shot, broken up. Bulldogs now are flicking it down the ice, trying to control this. Wilkinson's going to back up, can't clear this one. Kept in at the line. Hard hit at the line by Mitch Moffat as the forward ducked Mitch Moffat as he took a run at Noah Brandt. That'll be a size difference there. Mitch Moffat will skate right through him. Fresh legs now coming out. Malcolm Hurd, Josh Cameron, John Samus, Alex Basie, and on the far side, that's going to be Matt Brosma. They work around the outside, long distance shot, misses wide past Crystalton on the right. Bulldogs keep it in. Shot, knocked down, bouncing puck. They have to go back to the point. They work it around the outside. Here's a long distance shot again, knocked down by Josh Cameron. Bouncing puck. Cameron now clears this one. He's hurt from that dump in. Almost broken up there by Malcolm Hurd. Hits his man to the boards. Long distance pass by the Bulldogs. Alex Basie's going to turn away, put it off the boards, tries to get this one out. They do. Cameron, though, turns it over. Back come the Bulldogs. 3-on-4. Odd man rush to the outside. Still can't find their way in. Cressenden slams the door on that one. Won't let anybody inside. Fake shot into a pass. Broken up. Cameron now gets this one. Tried to get it out. Oh, he does get it out. Malcolm Hurd looking the opposite way, though. Fresh legs now come on the ice for the Royals. We got Arnold and Witosic. Matt Brosma still on the point out there with Murdoff. Shot. Nice save by Cressenden into the corner. Forrestal now completes the change. He's out there with his forward line. Murdoff now going to carry this one. He's going to bank it off the glass, knock down. He's going to pick his dump out. Here he comes. Murdoff, he's got Witosic with him on the outside. Can't get it inside. They're going to go around the outside. They're going to have to clear this one all the way down. Steve Neary's going to chase this one. Icing is the call at 8:23 remaining of the second period. 2-2 here at the Castle. 1-0 for the Hawks right now over Lindsay. That's the other game here in the Highlands division. As Arnold steps in on the draw, he's going to win this back to Forrestal, back to Neary. Long distance shots by Neary. Tip shot just wide. That was Arnold tipped that one. Bulldogs come back the opposite way. This is Gustafson now. Can't find his way in. Now he gets it over. Quick shot scores as that was Johnny Hill. He put that one in. And the Bulldogs get their lead back by 1 at 8:08 remaining of the second period. You'll see them just working around the outside. And that's the earlier shot. Here it is here. He's going to walk in. That's the tip that went into the corner. We didn't get the goal there, folks. That's okay. You'll watch it on the replay tomorrow. Shots 34-18 for the Bulldogs. Much better start for the Royals at the start of the second period as they're going to work this one up. Mitch Moffat now on the forward line as he's dumped in at the line. Back come the Bulldogs. Odd man rush again. 2-on-3. Long shot. High above the glove. Penalty coming up to the Bulldogs. Holding the stick. As he held on to Arnold's stick first. Couldn't believe they didn't call that hook first. But he held on to the stick and wouldn't let it go. Moffat exchanging words there. Looks like Moffat went to the forward line. Power play. Brought to you by Metro Picton. Visit them on the main drag. Royals are 0-2 on their power play tonight. Oh, they scored, didn't they? 1-3. Thank God the stats guy is here. Launch shot scores! That was Murdoff from Kenny Basie. Kenny Murdoff from Alex Basie. Oh, flustered up here talking to the stats guy. As that was an absolute hammer from the point. We'll see it right there. There's the shot right there, right through and on the net. And it is now 3-3. That was a power play goal. And they come right back and score. Very short-lived lead. As we were just getting underway here. So that's Kenny Murdoff's goal. See, we're just coming back from the replay there. You see Cressenden touch the puck. And the wraparound, the turnover. And there's the shot. And just fooled Crystalton. 4-3 for the Bulldogs. 7 minutes remaining of the second period. But a much better period by the Royals as they come back on this one. This is DeRossi on the outside. Tries to get it inside. He can't. Bulldogs now going to control. Mitch Moffitt holds the line. This is a Malcolm Hurd long distance shot. Nobody there tries to play it. Referee McEwen blows it down. 6:47. Still 1-0. Stat guy just refreshed the screen here. 1-0 still up in Lindsay. Former County Royals Cody Clancy, the goal scorer tonight. Good to see him on the sheet there. It was a heartbreaking trade down here earlier this year. Cody Clancy off to the Hawks, which brought Alex Basie here. As they work around the outside, Bulldogs can't control this. Quick turn, fire. That was Mitch Moffitt. Basie steps up on the line with Tosick back to help out. Quick shot in. Justin Arnold couldn't hang on to that one. Bouncing puck, they go all the way back. Moffitt now going to back up on this one. He's got Basie open. They're going to dump this one off. Knock down, bouncing puck. Forstel's going to grab this one to Witosick. Witosick back over to Forstel, back over to Witosick. Quick shot with Tosick. Pipers kicks that off to the side. 6 minutes remaining of the third. Long dump out by the Bulldogs. Almost a 2-on-1 there. Bulldogs going to turn this right back in. They're showing a lot of fortitude here. Nice long toe drag. Quick shot. High above the net. Nice quick changes. Bulldogs almost got caught with too many men. And who was that? That was Ethan Ewell. Went into the bench, almost took out the assistant coach, took out the backup goalie, Aaron Young. I don't know if the camera caught that one. It was pretty funny, though, on our end. Thank God he's okay. Van Vlak gets the puck pushed through, but controlled by the Bulldogs. Moore's out there with him as well. Through the paint, nobody touches it. John Samus now couldn't get a handle on that one. Cresselman kicks that off to the side. Puck cleared, but kept in at the line. John Samus back as well. Nice block by Cole St. Pierre. Long distance shot, bouncing puck, kept in at the line by Birkinshaw. Van Vlak gets the puck back. He's hit hard into the corner. Now Cole St. Pierre floats that with a lot of tangle up going on in the corner. Van Vlak. So Van Vlak and Gustafson are mixing it up in the corner. Now we got some rough stuff happening. They're taking both. It should be both. As Mitch Gustafson went back, and that was the back official that called that one, was McEwen. Should be Van Vlak and Gustafson both in the box. See if the opt for the 4-on-4 or the 5-on-5. Well, he grabbed a hold of Van Vlak. I don't know what he was thinking. Trying to plead his case. Four Royals on the ice, 5. Nope, they're going to the power play. Double minor being called against Van Vlak. 2 for 4 on. Bulldogs 2 for 4 in the power play. Those are wrong answers. Okay. Face off 1, controlled by the Bulldogs. 5 minutes even remaining. Bulldogs on the power play. Try to work around the outside. Quick shot. Chryslerton hangs on to that one right away. Yeah, Van Vlak with the double minor. 2 for holding, 2 for roughing. And then the retaliation, 2 for roughing. Power play for the Bulldogs. Face off 1, push through by Cameron. High stick by Malcolm Hurd. on Alex Tongue. He was a little upset about that one. No call. Out come the Bulldogs. Trying to work around the outside. They're going to drop this one off. They're going to let him carry it through the neutral zone. It's Alex Tongue now carries around the outside. He's knocked off. Murdoch, another penalty coming up against the County Royals. Kenny Murdoch's now going to shoot it down the ice. That will be no goal. As this is the second opportunity that the Royals are down 3 on 5. Royals are right in this game right now. They just got to stay out of the box. Face off, one against the boards by Cameron, but controlled by the Bulldogs. That's just a numbers game. Bulldogs work around the outside. Triangle set up right through the paint. Nobody touches that puck. Bulldogs are playing a guy right at the top of the crease. They're trying to work this way in on the outside, trying to find their way into the shooting lane. This is Hill. Hill back over the far side. Can't work this one in. Still trying to find their way in on this one. This is Hill still controlling the puck on the outside. Shot, tip, out to the outside, out of play. 46 seconds remaining in the original penalty to Van Vlack. 1:25 remaining the penalty to Kenny Murdoch. Steve Neary's going to come out with Alex Basie on the point. And Nick Kirby's comes out as the forward on this threesome. He's going to take the face-off against Dorian Overland. Overland wins the draw. They keep it in at the line. Bulldogs work around the outside, trying to find their way in. Shot missed wide left. Is still controlled by the Bulldogs. Broken up by Nick Kirby. Not out, though. Kept in. Here's another shot off the outside of the post. That's Noah Branch just sitting there trying to fire it in. Cannon's down the far side. Got to watch him. He's got a quick release. As Branch just hammering pucks through. He's known for that big cannon of his. Now back to the point again. This is Jason Shaw. Quick shot. Christleton blocker save away. Nick Kirby trying to get this one out. He goes the opposite way. As Steve Neary chasing. Now we got 3 seconds remaining of the 5-on-3. Now we're back to 5-on-4. Zach Brook comes out. He was serving the secondary penalty to Van Vlack. Matt Brosmus, Cole St. Pierre, Justin Arnold, Calvin Watosic now come out. 4-on-5, 35 seconds. Remaining in this penalty, 2:58, 4-3 for the Bulldogs. Game 1, Highland semifinal. They work around the outside. They work in through the crease. Nice breakup play there by St. Pierre. Bulldogs control, work around the outside. Arnold's going to slap this. Now it's a foot race. This is Watosic. He's going to shoot this quick release, high and away. Bulldogs come back the other way as Arnold now steps in on his draw. They're screaming about a knee. He goes the outside. Watosic going to clear this one. Watosic bumped off the puck. They're going to walk in. 5-on-5 hockey. We return to it. Quick change. Forsel's going to come out for Murdoch. St. Pierre battles his man against the boards. Works around the outside. Matt Brosman's going to step up. He's got Forstall with him. They're going to work on the outside. Matt Brosman steps back. Finds Watosic. Score! It's 2 for Watosic. And we're 4-4. I'll give credit where credit's due. That's Matt Brosma brought that all the way up. You'll see him step up right here. He's going to carry that one all the way through and just gain the line, hit the brakes, looked for it, found him. Down comes Watosic, no mistake. And we're 4-4 with 2:01 remaining in the second period. Mitch Moffat now going to take this one in. He's bounced off the puck. If it's 5-on-5 hockey, Royals are tough to play against here at the Castle. You just got to stay out of the box. Mitch Moffat gets Gets run into there by Birkinshaw. You just let him skate right into him as he ran right through. We'll get that number there. Oh, back come the Royals again in the opposite way. Puck's loose as Kuipers took a wild swing at that. DeRossi turned, fired, came right back to him. Quick shot again. Moffat, nice low shot into the corner. Royals are buzzing. Back come the Bulldogs, though. Now it's a 3-on-1. Nice broken up, though. Here comes Mitch Moffat. He's going to carry this one out. Tried to go to the middle. Nobody there. Kept in at the line. Nice play by Noah Brandt. Backhand broken up as he runs right over Wilkinson in behind the play. Bodies are flying. Lots of hits. 52 seconds remaining in the second period. Long distance pass by the Bulldogs. Broken up, controlled. Hurd's going to gain the line, long shot. Blocker into the corner by Kuipers. John Samus now tries to break this one up. He does, helped by Moore. Kirby down to Moore. Moore now into the slot. There's nice chase. And the Royals take the lead late. What a forward play there by Moore and Kirby, as they just kept grinding. And there it is. Former Madoc Wildcat, number 19, John Samus, with the go-ahead goal, 26 seconds remaining. Bulldogs are coming in the last minute here. We're 18 seconds remaining. Out front, they cleared this puck. This will be a quick shot, fanned on that, broken up. Taken right back from Kirby. Steve Neary now pushes his men back through the point. Now they try to battle. Bouncing puck, broken up. Quick shot again. Chrisland's going to hang on to that one as all the Bulldogs come in. 1.5 seconds remaining. And the Deseronto fan side is silent, as they are just not going away on this one. Goalie pulled as they're going to try and get this going. Face off one, Bulldogs, quick shot off a body. And at the end of two periods, shots 40-24 for the Bulldogs. But the score is 5-4 for the Royals. Change of events here. Game one of the Highlands Division. Christendon's pumped. We'll catch you on the other side of the intermission show. 5-4 Royals. And we'll see you in the third period. Forward line, John Samus in the back with Peaver. This is Peaver. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Watasik from Brandon Peaver. This is Peaver. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Watasik from Brandon Peaver. You can see there, puck in, shot around the outside now. Hawks are going to control this one. Picked off. Now it's a foot race. It's going to be good. In walks. Nice shot. Oh, nice read by Horn. That was Nick Kirby that picked that one off and walked all the way in. As they try to get inside bats, they have to back up, though they couldn't keep it in. Tyson Moore jumps off for a change. Malcolm Hurd comes out. Here's a breakaway by Watasik. Scores! Calvin Watasik! And he makes it. Find his man. He's teamed up. He can't get this one. He's bumped hard. In come the Hawks 2-on-1. They try to go across ice. They can't. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Quick shot by Nesbitt. Nice save by Chrisland right at the end of the period as he knocks this one. The Tweed Oil Kings in town. Should be a full house on that one. Controlled in by the Royals. Long shot. LeBron scores! What a funny little bounce. Welcome, everyone, to the very first broadcast of the brand new team in the NPHL, the County Royals. Starting goal tonight, Christian Christelton. He is a former Madoc Wildcat that has now joined this team, and of course he will be battled into the side by Northgrave. Calvin tries to get up front, he can't. Now controls again on his backhand, shit, scores! Well, that's a familiar sight for the Smith Fall Ritos as Calvin Watasic makes it 6-2. Knocked away by Van Vleck. Here comes Purchase now through the neutral zone. He puts it on the far side. He's going to streak towards the net. Off the foot. They try to keep this one in. They do. Royals now trying to shoot this one. Tip! Sheldon Purchase with a quick shot. Breakaway now. That's Chrislin with a great save on that one. As we enter the final 5 or 6 seconds of this period, and that will sum it up. Opening night, the County Royals are down by the Smith Falls Ritos 10-3. Thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. We look forward to seeing you at our next broadcast on October 18th against the Durham Hawks. For the County Royals, my name is Bill Newman, and thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Forward line, John Samus in the back with Peever. This is Peever. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Watasic from Brandon Peever. This is Peever. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Watasic from Brandon Peever. And see there, puck in, shot around the outside now. Hawks are going to control this one. Picked off. Now it's a foot race. It's going to be good. In walks, nice shot. Oh, nice read by Horn. That was Nick Kirby that picked that one off and walked all the way in. As they try to get inside bats, they have to back up, though they couldn't keep it in. Tyson Moore jumps off for a change. Malcolm Hurd comes out. Here's a breakaway by Watasic. Scores! Calvin Watasic. And he makes it. Find his man. He's teamed up. He can't get this one. He's bumped hard. In come the Hawks 2-on-1. They try to go across ice. They can't. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Quick shot by Nesbitt. Nice save by Chrislin right at the end of the period as he knocks this one. The Tweed Oil Kings in town. Should be a full house on that one. Controlled in by the Royals. Long shot. LeBron scores! What a funny little bounce. Welcome, everyone, to the very first broadcast of the brand new team in the NPHL, the County Royals. Starting goal tonight, Christian Christelton. He is a former Madoc Wildcat that has now joined this team, and of course he will be battled into the side by Northgrave. Calvin tries to get up front, he can't. Now controls again on his backhand. Shit, scores! Well, that's a familiar sight for the Smith Fall Ritos as Calvin Watasic makes it 6-2. Knocked away by Van Vlack. Here comes Purchase now through the neutral zone. He puts it on the far side. He's going to streak towards the net. Off the foot. They try to keep this one in. They do. Royals now trying to shoot this one. Tip! Sheldon Purchase with a quick shot. Breakaway now. As Chrislin with a great save on that one. As we enter the final 5 or 6 seconds of this period, and that will sum it up. Opening night, the County Royals are down by the Smith Falls Ritos 10-3. Thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. We look forward to seeing you at our next broadcast on October 18th against the Durham Hawks. For the County Royals, my name is Bill Newman, and thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
So end of the second period, 5-4 for the Royals. Complete turnaround from the first period. Kenny, what is everybody seeing out there in that second period?
I think we had a lot more compete. We were a lot more into the body and getting pucks towards the net and making sure that we were actually doing the right things.
Now, you got to tee that one up there for your goal. Tell me, would you get that nice little pass from Basie?
Yeah, I haven't done it in a couple of years, but I finally got it one time to actually take a shot with, so it was nice to actually get one off.
Well, that's great. You guys have played fantastic the second period. Third period coming up, 5-4 Royals. Here we go with the third period.
Third period underway here at the Castle in the county. You're watching Royals hockey here on YouTube. Again, thank you so much for joining us here. Full Capacity House, Game 1 Highland semifinals. Task Force Lounge packed. Pounders Pub downtown's packed. Arnold steps in on the draw. He's out there at the top line with Tosick and Forstall. Had a chance to talk to Kenny Murdoch there at the start there, the intermission show. Him with that big blast. Royals are feeling good right now after a terrible start in the first period. This is Arnold stepping on the far side, tries to find an open body, can't. Bouncing puck, works to the outside. Aaron Young now in net for the Royals, or for the Bulldogs. So goaltender change for the Royals. Huge hit there at the line, kept in by Matt Brosma. Long distance shot, Basie right back up. Here's Arnold bringing it in the far side. Tried to drop it for Witosik back, 3-on-1. Witosik gets back into play. They work around the outside, no call. High sticking is going to come up to Witosik. Young gets to the board, quick shot. Crystalton hangs on to that one and shuts the door. Early power play for the Bulldogs here in the third. Witosik got back. High sticking is the call. Bulldogs are 0 for 5. I think if you watch the Blocking Business podcast, Trey Hamilton talked about how great the power play was for the Bulldogs. Well, it's not here tonight. Bulldogs now set up on this power play. They work on the outside. Witosik for high sticking. Cameron and Hurd out there. Murdoff and Neary on the point. Bulldogs trying to find their way, and they are so fast at moving this puck inside. Quick shot off the leg. That was Neary stepped into that one. He felt all of that. He steps in through his man. Long backhand into the bench. As it hit Kuipers. Lots of drawing going on between the two benches here. No love loss for these two teams. Last change for the Royals. Van Vlack and Kirby now come out. Stats guy is going to check the score in the Durham-Lindsay game. Shots here, 42-24 for the Bulldogs. Face-off, bouncing puck, won by the Bulldogs, but cleared out by the Royals. Neary blocked that shot. He goes off. Brosma comes out, switches sides with Kenny Murdoff. Give and go. Out come the Bulldogs. 4-on-2. Hawks have taken a 3-0 lead up in the other semifinal for the Highlands division. Here, 5-4, 18 seconds remaining. Power play for the Bulldogs. Again, thank you so much for joining us here. Game 1 on Royals Hockey, live on YouTube. Proud member of the NPHL. Bulldogs are going to work this in on the outside. Long distance shot, high and away. Crystalton didn't even really have to touch that one. Nice hard hit by Nick Kirby. Still tangled up with his man, can't get out. Bouncing puck. Bulldogs can't control. That was Johnny Hill. Even though there's too many men on the ice, no call, turnover. That was Tyson Moore on the forecheck on that. Arnold out there along with Matt Brosma and Alex Basie. Works on the outside, tries to cut in. Crystalton didn't have to touch that one through the paint. Tyson Moore couldn't get a stick on that one. They work around the outside. Miscommunication by the Bulldogs. Puck goes all the way back. Aaron Young had to come out, play that one. He's going to move it up quick. Back 5-on-5 hockey. As Witosik's going to come out, jump right back into play. St. Pierre works, takes on two Bulldogs in the corner. Tyson Moore takes a bump, trying to get this puck out. Broken up. Here's Witosik now. He's going to work on the outside. He's got Arnold with him, but Witosik's going to cut that net. As he's forced to the outside, Arnold controls. Off a stick, net is knocked off at 16:39. Game 2 of this series, Monday, 2 o'clock, and Deseronto. Full festivities days there, family skate, everything else. Check out their Facebook page for details on that. Josh Cameron took the draw for your Royals. Worked on the outside. Cole St. Pierre battles his man against the sideboard. Bulldogs do win the battle, keep it in deep. Wilkinson now goes back. He's going to shoot this one around. Nobody touches that. No, they're going to wave the icing as the defense turn the wrong way. That's a sneaky little play. Years of lining, I learned that one very quick. Out come the Bulldogs, though. They're going to control this one in. Bulldogs, very dangerous team. Number 1 in the Highlands division. Quick shot, nice save by Crystalton. Tried to work on the outside. He's going to reach in and grab it. as he reached in, and Cameron was having nothing to do with that. During the second intermission as well, we saw Brady Dyer downstairs. Looks like an ankle injury more than anything else. Yeah, he's gone to the hospital. It didn't look good, but he was in good spirits. He knew he was playing well. Long distance shot off a body, high and away, as Crystalton playing stellar here tonight. And like we said, the goaltender change in between the second and third. Corey Kuiper's out, Aaron Young in. Great tandem for the Bulldogs. I think they were number one in the entire Capital Division. Young's going to come out and play this one as Van Vlack, Moore, and John Samus out there. Samus turns this one over. He's going to walk in, tried to find Van Vlack as he tried to go backdoor again as Van Vlack is wrestled the ice. No call. Still no call. Van Vlack's laying on his back as the puck went right through that. As that was an easy play as they shoot that wide outside. Nobody there. Now a foot race. Van Vlack's going to touch this up to Tyson Moore just outside his reach. As Mitch Moffat's going to spin and turn and fire away as the Royals change. They go on the half board. Forrestal. Forrestal's going to flip this one up to Arnold. He's got Witosik. And Murdoch jumped up into this play, tried to go outside. Bulldogs picked this up. They're going to come back. Mitch Moffat's going to step it, slap that one in. Ward had to control that, Young had to control that one into the corner. Long distance shot, knocked down by Forrestal. He keeps it in. He goes down low to Arnold. Arnold bumped off the puck. Witosik comes in for support. Witosik to Forrestal, bouncing puck. Forrestal tries to get control of that. He does, keeps it in. Forrestal still controls, tries to bring this one out. Drops off for Arnold as he's hit in behind the net. And out come the Bulldogs. Long shot. Nice read there by Brosma. As Witosik couldn't get a handle on that one. Cameron changed off for Arnold. As Arnold took that big hard hit in behind the net. Cameron on the forecheck. He's fighting two Bulldogs in the corner. Cameron, a little short guy. He's a Bulldog himself. As they got to bank this one out. Down, Crystalton's going to have to steer this one out. Matt Brosman's going to grab the puck. Basie's on the point with him. Royals change. Nick Kirby and Hurd on the far side. Josh Cameron still out there. They flick this one out. Icing waved. 13-43 shots. 44-26 for the Bulldogs. Wilkinson's knocked through, ran through. Bulldogs still control. Back come the Royals. This is Wilkinson. Just came off his stick. Nick Kirby couldn't get a stick on that. Broke it up by Neary. Steve Neary with that little reach of his. Broke that whole play up. Malcolm Hurd goes far side in between the feet of Josh Cameron. He's going off the change immediately. Malcolm Hurd throws a check. Van Vlack comes on for Cameron. Hard hit on the half board. Now a battle. Bouncing puck shot out. Royals going to finish their change as Moore and John Samus come out. He's out there with Van Vlack, Wilkinson, and Neary still on the point. 12:52 remaining of the third period. They move this one in. 5-4 for the Royals. Bouncing puck. Wilkinson controls in the corner. Van Vlack held it. Here's a one-timer. Crystalton shuts the door on that one. That was Jeff Morris that turned around and fired that one on net. Crystalton saved that one. John Samus on the forecheck here. Still Moore and Van Vlack out there. Kenny Murdoch now out. Out there with Mitch Moffat. Shot off the side of the net. Murdoch drops his man in behind the net. Back come the Royals. 4-on-3. Long distance shot off a body. Van Vlack gets it back. He's forced to the outside. Samus also gets a stick on that one. Bulldogs regroup. They one-touch this one through the neutral zone. Tried to get off a leg of Murdoch. Now they work it outside. Knocked away by Crystalton. Moore's going to pick this one up. Tyson Moore battles off his player. Oh, nice stick check there by Nathan Hudgen. Here comes Mitch Moffat. Back hit. Oh, what a lucky bounce there as Tyson Moore just lost the handle on that one. They go back the other way. Kenny Murdoff is back. He's going to spin away from his man. Trying to catch the Bulldogs changing. Gains the line. Long dump. Young knocks that off. 11:25 remaining in the third period. They work it into the corner. Broken up. That was Forrestal. Young has to come way out. Trips over Forrestal. Royals couldn't take advantage of that. Long shot. Christleton grabs it and hangs on to it at 11:09 remaining. Shots 47, 28, 3-2 in Lindsay right now, as Lindsay with 2 quick goals. Don't count nothing out in this first round, especially in that other series. Number 2 seed versus number 3 seed. Bulldogs try to control, get this one out. This is Alex Basie. Goes low off the boards, picked up by the Bulldogs, and to carry this one in 4 wide. They try to fight their way through. Basie chases the Bulldog into the corner, back to the point, worker on the half board in behind the net. Nobody there. Malcolm Hurd tries to get on the half board. He gets there. They battle, bouncing puck. Bulldogs control, give you a shot from the point off a leg. That was DeRossi, blocked that. Malcolm Hurd gets that one out, bouncing puck. DeRossi now on the forecheck for this one, as he's bumped off on the play there. That was Lemare's. Battle in the corner. They go in behind the net. Josh Cameron now out there. DeRossi gets off. Out comes Tyson Moore. He's having a good third period. Steve Neary opts to go back. Fanned on the shot. St. Pierre's got to step up. They're going to bank it off the puck there. St. Pierre's got to come back and get this puck. He's going to get hit there on the half board. He gets hit just like we thought he was. He got the puck out, though. Long distance shot. Christleton's going to handcuff him a little bit, get it back. Broken up by Steve Neary again. Forces his man down. Moore takes a bump on the half board. John Salmon steps in, battles his man. Bouncing puck. Nobody can control it. Moore turns, fires. Everybody's just kind of kicking and swinging at it. Now it gets out. As Kirby tried to get up to Moore. They're going to dump that in. St. Pierre's going to bang that into the corner. He's bumped, knocks his man off. Battle in the corner. More about the players in the puck right now. Steve Neary now gets control in behind. Oh, bad turnover there by Steve Neary. They come back. St. Pierre had to put a stick on his man there. Lucky wasn't called for hooking. Royals on their heels here a little bit. Bouncing puck. St. Pierre's going to turn fire. He takes another hit in the corner as it goes off the glass and out of play. Fresh legs are going to come on the ice for the Royals. Arnold, Witosick. Forrestal's going to stay on. Murdoff and Wilkinson on the point. 9 minutes remaining in the third. 5-4 Royals. Arnold steps in on the draw. Face off, won by the Bulldogs. Go back to the point. Long shot. Chrislem knocks that down. Long distance pass. Oh, knocked down by Witosick. He died for that one. Turnover. Here's Arnold. Couldn't get a shot on that. Has Witosick and Arnold both forward checks on that one. Bouncing puck. Murdoff couldn't handle. Wilkinson has to go back and grab this one. He's going to get hit behind the net. He's bumped off the puck. Murdoff's going to pick this up. Up to Forrestal. Forrestal now is going to go to the outside. Everybody gangs up on him. Tried to toe drag shot. Didn't get through. They bank on the half board. Arnold steps in. Tried to get all the way through. He's hit hard by 2 Bulldogs. Forrestal kept it in. Off an arm, though. Bounced out. Witosick back to Murdoff. Saw the interview there with Kenny Murdoff between the second intermission. Here comes Arnold. He's got some bodies with him. He's got Forrestal. Forrestal trying to get a stick on that one. Bouncing puck. Couldn't get outside. Water bottle now laying on the ice. Bulldogs are going to carry this one out. Kenny Murdoff stands up at the line. Helped out by his defense partner. Kenny Murdoff now he's going to carry this one out. He'll go to the outside and get a shot. Cameron now tries to get that through. He's hit on the half board. He's going to change. DeRossi, Hurd, Cameron on the forward line. Matt Brosma and Alex Basie on the point. Long shot. Crystalline hangs on to this one at 7:22. Stats guy wants to check the clock, says it's not running fast enough here. He's got his fingernails chewed down to a nub right now. It's a player on the Deseronto bench right now getting help too. Can't get his number from this angle. Could be Dorian Overland. Looks like his shoulder might have been out there a little bit. Yeah, it was Dorian Overland. That was an icing call. Tell me these two teams aren't hitting each other tonight. Back pass, here's a shot. Up high away. Crystal had that red bouncing puck. Now carried out. This is Hurd. Hurd's going to gain the line. Long shot. Goes left to right in front of Young. Shaw had to go back. Try to work it on the outside. Bouncing puck. Here come the Bulldogs wide. They work on the outside. Step around. Try to find the shot. Shot high and away. That was a nice chance by Hudgen. Has Hurd now forechecking this one. Royals get their change in. Mitch Moffat. Kenny Murdoff back. More Van Vlack on the forward line. Out comes John Sam. He's in behind the D. Long distance shot. All picked off at the line. And that was Hill that picked that off. As what an opportunity there for the Royals. But again, the Bulldogs keep forgetting they're a great team. And Lindsay has crawled back from a 3-0 deficit. And it's now 3-3 in the other Highlands Division game 1. Nice hard hit at the line as Moffat missed the hit. Knocked down in behind the net now. 3 Royals helping out. This is Van Vlack. Goes off the glass, knocked down by the Bulldogs into the corner. Mitch Moffat now battles his man in behind the net. He gets control, tried to clear, almost put that out front of the net. Tyson Moore is going to clear this one out down the center of the ice. 5:43 remaining of the third period. 5-4 for the Royals. Shots are 50-28 for the Bulldogs. Crystalton has to be the first star of this game so far tonight. Standing his ground. Long shot off a foot of Arnold, come right back to Brosma. Brosma tried to go back to Murdoff. Morris got a stick on that one, broke that up. Kenny Murdoff now off the glass, bouncing puck. Forrestal got it through. This is Witosick now chasing his man into the corner. He's bumped off. Arnold now forward checker. Forrestal and Witosick get back. Bulldogs come in 3 wide. They circle cross. Shot wide. Witosick now is going to carry this puck up. This is your County Royals captain. Gets it through. Bounced off a hit. Forrestal tried to get that puck out. Almost looked like too many men on the ice there for the Royals. Josh Cameron now changes. Witosick changes. As they all come out, Hurd's out there. Josh Cameron, Forrestal still on the ice. Forrestal's going to try and carry this. He's bumped into the boards. He might change right now. He does. Out comes Nick Kirby. Mitch Moffat and Murdoff on the point. Back come the Bulldogs. 2-on-3 odd man rush, trying to find their way in. They do. Turned over. Back comes Hurd. He's got Cameron with him. Hurd's going to gain the line and dump it in. 4 minutes remaining. Bulldogs get knocked off the puck in the corner. Royals now trying to put the forward play on this one. 3-on-3 back the other way. Huge hit, just misses. Malcolm Hurd comes back. He's going to dump this in. Josh Cameron. Matt Brosma on the ice with Murdoff. Kirby still out there. Royals are going to change. Bulldogs are going to change. Royals are also going to change. Van Vlack and Samus come on the ice with Kirby. Bulldogs get their way in, work on the outside. Cressleton had that angle cut off. Tries to get this one out. No, they're going to let that one go. No icing. As Tyson Moore comes on for Kirby. John Samus got hit, got his helmet undone there, trying to get his everything done back up, gets his glove back on. Basie tried to go low base to him, couldn't find it. Basie forces his man to the outside. This is Brosma. We're under 3 minutes remaining of the third period. Bouncing puck. Van Vlack gets this one out. As the Bulldogs turn back the opposite way. Broken up by Basie at the line. It was kept in by the Bulldogs. They tried to work it out. Nice stick work there by Brosma. This is Tyson Moore trying to carry this up. Now Van Vlack's going to carry this through. Takes a stick. Still works it in hard. Witosik's out there. Change. Arnold comes on. Basie. He's going to change right now for Mitch Moffat and Murdoff on the point. Arnold's going to step through. Has to step around Tyson Moore. Bulldogs back the other way. Long distance shot. Cressleton kicks that off to the side. We're just coming up on the 2-minute mark remaining of the third. We're going to watch Young going to the bench here in 2 secs probably as the Bulldogs control in the Royal zone. Picked off by Witosik. Witosik and Murdoff. He's got a step. Oh, just broken up slightly there as Murdoff circles back to the point. You got to watch Witosik picking those off. Broken up on the outside. Cressleton knocks that down. He's going to come out and play it. He's going to shoot around the glass. Bouncing puck. Half board. They're going to turn. They're going to try and find the shooting lane. We're still watching Young. There goes Young. 133. 6-on-5. Nets knocked off. Just as Young goes to the bench. 1:31 remaining. 5-4 for the Royals. Shots 51-28. What time did that game start? Oh, 8:30. I just saw it here was the second period up in Durham, and I was like, that's a late start. The whistle went for premature substitution. Face-off will come to the center of the ice. Young goes back to the net, 1:31. That's a lucky break. Timeout is called. You're watching Royals hockey here on YouTube. 5-4 for the Bulldogs. Aaron Young goes back into the net. The premature substitution. Face off center ice. Cameron Hurd. And Kirby on the far side. Young goes to the bench with the rush at 1:25. Really quick shot, scores. As that was Jason Shaw. As we're just coming up on 1 minute. As the Bulldogs right off the draw come right back down. You'll see it right here. They just worked it in. Bouncing puck. Straight there. Just a quick little snap right over the shoulder. That was Jason Shaw. 5-5 in the third period. 1:20 remaining. Face off, won and controlled by the Royals. Off the board to Witosik, off the linesman's foot, gets it right back, though, dumps it in as Aaron Young's got to come out and hang on to it. As Arnold's bumped into him. Everybody just kind of grabs everybody. Shots 52-28. Face off will be the left-hand side of Young. Arnold's going to step in on the draw with this one. He's got Forrestal with Witosik out there. Murdoff and Moffat on the point. Face-off pushed through by Arnold. Bouncing puck. They're going to put a body right on Witosik probably. They work this one out. Bouncing puck. Murdoch's going to gain control. 1 minute remaining of the third period. Long distance shot. Forsell gets it through. Witosik has. He's got Arnold on the far side. Nice move by Witosik. Can't get free though. Arnold's going to step in on this one. He's bumped by the referee. Out come the Bulldogs back the opposite way. They're going to work on the outside. Icing is the call. Bulldogs didn't like that. We got some rough stuff here. That was Gustafson grabbed a hold of Mitch Moffat. Don't know if that's a good idea. Basie's going to be out there on the point with Brosma, Cameron. Oh, they're going to fix the net here. Hurd, Cameron, and Kirby. Face off one by Cameron, back to Basie. Basie's going to shoot. Got through there to the outside. Matt Brosma steps in on the line. He's covered by Hurd on the point. They work around the outside. Cameron now gets this one. He's battled on the half board, controlled back. Matt Brosma blows the tire, gets right back up. Tried to put that in. He had nothing to work with. As they threw the puck out, 16 seconds remaining. Bulldogs get their change in. Brosma's going to carry this on the outside. He's going to gain the line, dump it in, put it off the glass high and away. We're under 6 seconds, 5 seconds as Cameron got this one out. Now Brosman has this one as a shock to everyone. We're heading to overtime. And we're doing a full flood here going into overtime. Intermission show 5-5, game 1, Highlands semifinal. We'll catch you for overtime. Forward line, John Samus in the back with Peever. This is Peever. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Witosik from Brandon Peever. This is Peever. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Witosik from Brandon Peever. You can see there, puck in, shot around the outside now. Hawks are going to control this one. Picked off. Now it's a foot race. It's going to be good. In walks. Nice shot. Oh, nice read by Horn. That was Nick Kirby that picked that one off and walked all the way in. As they try to get inside bats, they have to back up, though. They couldn't keep it in. Tyson Moore jumps off for a change. Malcolm Hurd comes out. Here's a breakaway by Witosik. Scores! Calvin Witosik. And he makes it. Find his man. He's teamed up. He can't get this one. He's bumped hard. In come the Hawks 2-on-1. They try to go across ice. They can't. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Quick shot by Nesbitt. Nice save by Chrislin right at the end of the period as he knocks this one. The Tweed Oil Kings in town. Should be a full house on that one. Controlled in by the Royals. Long shot. LeBron scores! What a funny little bounce. Welcome, everyone, to the very first broadcast of the brand new team in the NPHL, the County Royals. Starting goal tonight, Christian Christelton. He is a former Madoc Wildcat that has now joined this team, and of course he will be battled into the side by Northgrave. Calvin tries to get up front, he can't. Now controls again on his backhand. Shit, scores! Well, that's a familiar sight for the Smith Fall Ritos as Calvin Watasic makes it 6-2. Knocked away by Van Vleck. Here comes Purchase now through the neutral zone. He puts it on the far side. He's going to streak towards the net. Off the foot. They try to keep this one in. They do. Royals now trying to shoot this one. Tip! Sheldon Purchase with a quick shot. Breakaway now. That's Chrislin with a great save on that one. As we enter the final 5 or 6 seconds of this period, and that will sum it up. Opening night, the County Royals are down by the Smith Falls Ritos 10-3. Thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. We look forward to seeing you at our next broadcast on October 18th against the Durham Hawks. For the County Royals, my name is Bill Newman, and thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Forward line, John Samus in the back with Peaver. This is Peaver. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Watasic from Brandon Peaver. This is Peaver. He'll shoot this one. Scores! Calvin Watasic from Brandon Peaver. You can see there, puck in, shot around the outside now. Hawks are going to control this one. Picked off. Now it's a foot race. It's going to be good. In walks. Nice shot. Oh, nice read by Horn. That was Nick Kirby that picked that one off and walked all the way in. As they try to get inside bats, they have to back up, though. They couldn't keep it in. Tyson Moore jumps off for a change. Malcolm Hurd comes out. Here's a breakaway by Watasic. Scores! Calvin Watasic. And he makes it. Find his man. He's teamed up. He can't get this one. He's bumped hard. In come the Hawks 2-on-1. They try to go across ice. They can't. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Quick shot by Nesbitt. Nice save by Chrislin right at the end of the period as he knocks this one. The Tweed Oil Kings in town. Should be a full house on that one. Controlled in by the Royals. Long shot. LeBron scores! What a funny little bounce. Welcome, everyone, to the very first broadcast of the brand new team in the NPHL, the County Royals. Starting goal tonight, Christian Christelton. He is a former Madoc Wildcat that has now joined this team, and of course he will be battled into the side by Northgrave. Calvin tries to get up front, he can't. Now controls again on his backhand, shit scores! Well, that's a familiar sight for the Smith Fall Ritos as Calvin Watasic makes it 6-2. Knocked away by Van Vlack. Here comes Purchase now through the neutral zone. He puts it on the far side. He's going to streak towards the net. Off the foot. They try to keep this one in. They do. Royals now trying to shoot this one. Tip! Sheldon Purchase with a quick shot. Breakaway now. That's Chrislin with a great save on that one. As we enter the final 5 or 6 seconds of this period, and that will sum it up. Opening night, the County Royals are down by the Smith Falls Ritos 10-3. Thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. We look forward to seeing you at our next broadcast on October 18th against the Durham Hawks. For the County Royals, my name is Bill Newman, and thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Folks, we're back. I'm not sure what's happening here. There's a problem with the Zamboni or something, which will just ruin a perfectly good hockey game. Not sure why there wasn't a flood. We'll find out what's going on, but we're going to go back to the Cole St. Pierre interview that happened at the very start of this as we try to figure what's going on here. We're going 5-5 into overtime, game 1, semifinals here in the Highland Division.
Hi, everyone. Bill Newman here, voice of the County Royals, and I'm joined by part of the ownership group, Cole St. Pierre. So, Cole, I got a question for you right out of the gate, a two-parter. So, since joining the ownership group, what was your vision for the first year? And then when you stepped in, and then how has that vision kind of come to fruition by the end?
Nice. Yeah, I think my vision coming into this season was, the biggest component I wanted was to be competitive on the ice at all parts of the season. I know home games were the most important for us to put a good product on the home ice for our community members. And, at the end of the day, that's our biggest goal, right? Is to build a community team here. And my vision was encapsulating competitive and community balance in that way. And, when I reflect back on the season, sometimes being a player and an owner is not always easy because when you're in the room with the guys, being a player, it sucks to lose those close games against all these really good hockey teams. But at the end of the day, we have to know that we're a year one team and we're building towards the Deserontos, the Tweeds, the Smith Falls. So it takes time to get there. So as an owner, it's really important to take those small wins that when you're playing those competitive games, you have lots to be happy about.
So obviously, first year ownership, there's obstacles. So is there one that you could maybe share with us? And then, what have you done to overcome that obstacle?
I'd say the biggest one is just being adverse to adaptability. Like, as you get going with the season starting, you're trying to fundraise money, you're trying to get the sponsors, you're trying to get the team together. I think reflecting back in August, we were probably sitting at 12 to 15 guys. So it was the biggest challenge for us was just trying to get that on ice competitive piece ready to go. And then also in the behind the scenes, you don't realize how much work goes into making all these great events. Yourself, you help us out tremendously. And so many other volunteers and community members that come out and support us with the gates, equipment managers, all this small details that comes together over the course of the season that I think is so important. So.
Now you did touch on this, so you had all the successful, well, you call them successful senior A's. You got your Desos, got your Tweeds, you got your Smith Falls. So they have really strong identities. So what are you doing to kind of build that culture up here and adopt that into Prince Edward County?
Yeah, and I think this reflects a little bit back to question one there with my vision as well. And I think the biggest thing we wanted is we knew that maybe not tons of wins were going to come down the pipe in year one, but the biggest part was being hard to play against. And the culture that we want to build is hard to play against, fun to be around, and community oriented. I think in Prince Edward County as a whole here, I'm very fortunate to have lived here my whole life. And it's such a big-hearted community for a small community that I think that kind of imbalances the team together as well. So
that's excellent. That's fantastic. I like that. So this goes right into my next question for you is, so obviously the community support, community involvement, you have all this stuff. So what are you doing to stay involved in the community, and how important it is to keep that connection growing, because it is year one?
Yes. In that sense, we had a lot of great meetings with community members over the summer and even into the winter. I think one of those key ones being with Charlene Inslee, the president of Prince Edward County Minor Hockey. I just believe the relationship between minor hockey and senior A hockey is so important. We see so many dads on the team here when they got their kids out here, and we had that Prince Edward County Minor Hockey Night. I think that was one of the biggest nights that we've had here in Wellington, and in terms of a fan base, that's what we want to build towards, is all these great minor hockey kids coming out to support us so that we can support them. I know down the road here when we can introduce new revenue streams, we really want to try and support that minor hockey route. So we're really looking forward towards that.
Right. So you did talk about growing the brand and your team's presence and the whole thing. So what does that brand growth look like over the next year?
Yeah, I think with brand growth, I think comes a lot of relationship building, community building. Our biggest thing this year was just trying to be out in the community. I think a lot about growing your brand is storytelling, right? And when I was going out in the summertime, I'm talking about the County Royals and Senior A hockey. And Senior A hockey, I think, is coming back around. Like we talked about, it used to be so popular. It kind of went away for a little bit, and now we're back into this really popular segment of Senior A hockey. So it was about storytelling, honestly, going out into the community and making sure that everyone knew about it, what we're all about, because it is a different brand of hockey. It's a lot of 22 plus age players continuing to play competitive hockey, and that's probably my favorite part about it, is creating an avenue and a home for players alike and local to play hockey still.
Yeah, so the players do talk.
Yeah.
Right. So like last year, we were in the other league, the OSHL. It was you guys, Madoc, Trent Hills. And as the culture changed behind the scenes, I think one of the biggest things I noticed when I got here was what was going on by the dressing room, right? Lots of laughter tonight. Yeah. Game one for playoffs tonight. Everybody's nervous, but there's a looseness back there, which is great. So what are you trying to put out to the players when they all talk to each other about what Prince Edward County can offer them?
Yeah, our biggest thing is just trying to make it the best experience possible. I know there's partnerships that we've established with key sponsors over the summertime, such as Metro. So organizations like that help us provide game day food, snacks, drinks, Gatorade, water, everything from making a great experience once you start to the rink. Serendipity Yoga does yoga with us. We do stretching before every game with her at home. It's a lot about selling the experience of playing a junior/senior A hockey style environment and taking it to the next level and making it really fun to be a part of. And this group here, we've had a lot of fun experiences with the polar plunge in the community. We've done the pumpkin fest together. We've done the golf tournament. I'm very fortunate that the charity game was amazing too. So there's so many great things, and that charity game I think was probably my favorite. At the end of the day, trying to figure out how the heck to get so much food out of the rink and to the food bank. We had over 800 pounds and $1,000+. So that was one of those big moments that I think that's what we can sell to be a part of, to answer your question.
That could have been almost off-ice training, getting all that out of there.
That's
so
right.
We're not saying the season's over. You're in pretty tough against Deseronto. Obviously, they're first in the division, and you're coming in fourth, but it's going to be a matchup you got to win on them this year. So as you prepare for the ending of this season and then into next season, any little sneak previews for next year? What can you tell the fans about?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to stay focused on the remaining part of the season, but as we go into next season, I think what I'm most excited about is just the consistency of what we have here. We've built a great group of players and core already, so I'm excited to have everyone together and keep playing, right? With these established organizations, they have these core guys that have played together for 3 to 5 years now. And I'm excited for us to finally be a part of that and get going with our core group. And then as well behind the scenes. We have so many great members joining us, and it only gets bigger and bigger. So I'm excited about building the team and growing an even better brand.
Well, yeah, the atmosphere back and behind the scenes is great. So I know you got to get ready for game one. So with the voice of the County Royals, Bill Newman, this is Cole St. Pierre, part of the ownership group and defenseman, and we'll catch him tonight. Game one, Deseronto coming up next.
Go Royals. Thank
Finally, we're back. Overtime. I'm not sure what happened in behind the scenes, but a massive, massive delay. Well over 20 minutes. Both teams are going to take a few minutes here to warm back up. So it's a full 20-minute sudden victory. Goalies will switch in, so there's the long change. Calvin Witosik with 2, John Samuels with 1, Josh Cameron with 1, and Kenny Murdoch with 1. Jason Shaw tied it up with a minute left in the third period to send this to overtime. And we are game 1. Highlands Division semifinal. Stats guys checking the other game. It was 3-3. Shots are 52-29. Durham grabs 2 more goals and grabs a 5-3 lead in that one. And we're underway. Face off 1, controlled by the Bulldogs. Off a leg all the way back down. Tyson Moore's out there with Josh Cameron and Calvin Witosik. Brosma and Basie on the point. Cameron working down low, tries working outside off a stick. This will be icing. Or not. That was a clear icing. Witosik is going to control this one through the neutral zone. He's going to gain the line, dump it in now, foot race. Tyson Moore beats his man in. Nice stick lift, bouncing puck. Bulldogs are going to control, work to the outside. Brosma is going to force his man back. They try to cut to the inside, broken up there at the line by Murdoch as Christleton slides out and grabs this one at 9:11 of the fourth overtime period. Steve Neary is going to come out on the point. He's out there with Kenny Murdoch. Arnold, Hurd, and Forrestal now out here. Face off one by the Bulldogs. Quick shot off the foot of Hurd. They get it out. As Forrestal tried to get this up to Hurd as he hits a hard body check against the boards. He hit Jordan Cannons hard into the Royals bench. This is now Arnold. He's going to force to the outside, the speedy forward. 2 Bulldogs on him. He's going to work it in low. He's given support by Hurd. Forrestal in the shooting lane. Controlled by Arnold. Has to go back to the point. This is Kenny Murdoch now. Long shot. Bouncing puck. Young couldn't find that one. As now they're going to take a swing and dump this one out. This is Steve Neary now backing up. He's going to go back to Kenny Murdoch. Murdoch now looking around. He's going to slow this one down. Going to go back to Neary. Neary's got Van Vlack and John Samus. Here's John Samus now. Walks on the outside. Tried to find Van Vlack. Just blind pass there. Uh-oh. Back come the Bulldogs. 2-on-1. Kirby gets back, though. Shot through the paint. Nobody there. Bouncing puck. Nobody can find it. Still bouncing. Hard hit by Neary. As he hit Overland up high. Long dump in. Young's going to hang on to this one. Opts to grab that and hang on to it. At 17:48 of the overtime period. 5-5. Shots 52-31 for the Bulldogs. Van Vlack stepping in on the draw for this one. He wins, pushes through. Outside. Goals exchanged up in Durham, 6-4. Long shot. St. Pierre, puck got through. Bouncing puck. Samus has to back up with this one. He's going to go to St. Pierre. St. Pierre is going to slow down. Goes, looks out to his partner. Decides not to. Puck gets right through. That's called icing. Royals bench lets the referees know what they think. They're going to make Van Vlack come back out. Cameron Wilkinson. They're going to send John Samus off. Nick Kirby on the ice. Face off carried up by St. Pierre, turned over. Now he has to get back as there's 4 forwards on the ice. In comes Durham as Christleton grabs that one at 17-11. Mitch Moffat, Alex Basie coming out on the point. Josh Cameron, Tyson Moore, and Witosik come out on the forward line. Cameron's going to step in on the draw. He's going up against Hodgin. He wins that draw in behind the net. Mitch Moffat almost dumped down. Facey goes back to Mitch Moffat. Moffat tries to battle off his man. Cameron's going to control, goes across ice. This is what tossing. He's got a step, but he lost control. Tyson Moore with him as it goes right through the paint, and Young opts to knock it high out of play at 16:54. Head coach Greg Vanier switching up the lines, trying to give Deseronto something dirty to look at in the overtime. Cameron's going to step in on the draw. Basie, Moffat on the point. Face off, won by Cameron. Mitch Moffat, quick shot, high and away. Bounces in behind the puck. Two Royals on the puck. This is Cameron. Cameron's hugged, grabs a stick, walks out one-handed. Are they going to call that? They are going to call a holding the stick call on Cameron, which rightfully so, but should have been a hooking call on the other side. As a late, very important power play for the Royals, they are not happy with this call. Face-off is opted to go to the right-hand side of Chrisselton. Tyson Moore would toss it, come out. Matt Brosma and Kenny Murdoch on the point. Moore steps in. Bulldogs win the draw. Royals try to square up. They walk in, shoot off a leg into the corner. Tyson Moore does clear this puck. Now a foot race. Watosik's probably going to pull out of this one, let them set up. Watosik's going to skip back on this one as Tyson Moore now steps up in the lead for check. Bulldogs work on the outside. They work around the out there. Oh, what a save by Chrisselton! Oh my! As Chrisselton got over on that one. If that wasn't the save of the game, you'll see him walk right through here. They work on the outside. There's the back door, and look at Chrisselton. Oh my! Bulldogs win the draw, shot high and out of play off the stick of Hurd and out of play. That will be the highlight of the night right there. The overtime save by Chrisselton. Face off, push through, controlled by the Bulldogs though. They try to work it on the inside. Now they're trying to find their way in. Shot, scores. Chrisselton made that save. And Alex Tung put the overtime winner in. And the Bulldogs are pushed to the brink by the Royals. 6-5 the final. Alex Tung with the overtime winner at 15:52. After a outstanding performance by Chrisselton, Aaron Young comes right down to Chrisselton to tell him what kind of a game he had there. Heartbreaking. That's the only word I have for this. Shots were 55-32 for the Bulldogs as they're pushed to overtime. Game 2, Monday, 2 o'clock in Deseronto at the Dog Pound. For the County Royals, I'm Bill Newman. We will catch you next time.